Sahana Bhavatam Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om There's a question here suddenly. I see. Please explain fundamental spiritual trait. Okay. Fundamental spiritual trait. Oh, it's from the last class. Correct. Say that. No, otherwise, I'm forgetting. See, what is the fundamental? Because he says that, no, fortunately, my eye fell on that line. These born characters lack the fundamental spiritual trait of the human species. What is the fundamental spiritual trait he is talking about? I gave the clue. I don't know how many of you picked it up. I gave the clue. The clue is in the paragraph itself. In the previous paragraph. What is in the previous paragraph? Highly evolved spiritual person finds the expression of divinity everywhere. He would go into raptures merely at the sight of a flower or fruit. That ability to go into raptures, that ability to see something as Ashcharya. Oh, wow. The sense of wow is what is referred to as a fundamental spiritual trait. This is called the age of contemplation. The intellect's stages of development of intellect, in the Fall of Human Intellect book, he explains that. There are stages. What are the stages? Age of perception, where you just see things, stare, and go away. That's it. Then you have this age of superstition, where two experiences connected without any cause and effect relationship. Then comes the age of scientific inquiry, where this cause and effect relationship is established properly. Then there is a stage where intellect goes further and says, age of contemplation. What is that contemplation? That ability to see the beauty there, ability to get wonder, go into raptures. What? Now we feel, there is nothing there. No. What is there for you to go into? What is there to get excited? Now we all get excited in life with an external stimuli, isn't it? If the stimulus is so strong, you get into that excitement. Without getting into that, to go into this is such a difficulty. That's why we say classical music to appreciate is not easy. See, you need a tremendous application. High concentration is needed for that. Classical music. When he goes and touches that particular note, you say, wow, and how he builds it. How this is built, and he goes and touches that and moves away. You say, wow. And a fellow who is coming for the first time to the classical music concert, he thinks what? All ragas sound same to him. All talas sound same to him. Oh. My aunt and all used to get really angry with this. She'll say, how long you are listening to this? Can't you identify which raga is this? I'll say, all raga sound same to me. How do you distinguish between Kalyani, Karagara, Priya, Moganam? From the song we tell. That's all. Mogana Rama, if he sings, it is Mogana Raga, correct. Chakkani Raja means it is Karagara Priya. From the song, you identify the raga. But that raga has a particular note, you see. How he is playing with the note. To recognize that is such a difficulty. It is subtle. See, it needs fine ears to be able to distinguish the ragas. You should have to register the note. What is the swara for this? What is the note for this? To register, you need fine ears. You see, that is called fundamental spiritual trait. Not in that the stage of the senses, please. What we are referring to is not the senses. I'm giving the example of senses. Not at that stage. Here, what is it now? Fine-tunement of your intellect is the fundamental spiritual trait of human species. Because this wonderment is possible only for a human. Isn't it? Ascharya is there only for human. Ascharya possibility is not there for any animals. No animal can stand and look. Oh, not possible. Wow, it is not possible for them. A beautiful sunset. You see a buffalo standing there. That also sees. Ultraviolet. We take picture in ultraviolet and see what a beauty, sir. How beautiful it looks. But bee is not worried about the beauty of it and all that. Bee sees that. Ultraviolet and all. But it is not going to say what a beauty it is. There is no appreciation for that. They cannot appreciate. Nor can they criticize. That is also there. They don't have the capacity to appreciate it, nor they have the capacity to criticize it. Right? It says, for you to get that sense of wonderment, ashcharya with ordinary things, so-called. Okay? I'm saying ordinary means it is so-called ordinary. I am speaking, you are hearing. Ashcharya. Not because of the technology and all that. Even in an offline class, I speak and you hear. How? What a process that is. You turn, you see. What a process. How many calculations the retina does, interpretation of this, that, and then say, wow, this is what it is. I say, it is a chair. Just for me to say it's a chair, what a calculation. And all that is happening in such silence. I is functioning with such speed. but no noise at all, no sound at all. Kidney functions, no sound at all. Lungs function, no sound at all. One fellow who is making maximum noise is the heart. Tapu, tapu, lapu, tapu, he goes on and on and on. Shut up, man, you say. He says, if I keep quiet, you will also keep quiet. Therefore, we say, keep on. But that also is not coming to such a disturbance. You know that any perception you have, every time you see, your eye sees your nose also. Only now you would have registered. Before that, but it says, it doesn't matter. I don't have to pay attention to this. Few aspects it takes, few aspects rejects, can go on and on. Explaining so-called ordinary is extraordinary. Example he gives is William Wordsworth, Daffodils. And it's a super poetry, Daffodils, because he wrote the same poetry twice. Unbelievable, no? Same poetry. Daffodils is only poetry. He wrote twice. How can he write the same poetry twice, sir? That's why it is very popular. Very interesting one that is. So for you, since you are not able to see the divinity's presence, that ascharya, when you see it as a wonderment, in that wonderment, is there a possibility for you to dislike something? Is there a possibility for you to dislike? So first thing, what they do is, why he says about this manifestations of Brahman, the moment you see the whole thing as a divinity, divine expression, with the eyes of wonderment when you see, when you associate everything with the divinity, is there a possibility for you to hate something? First thing taken out of equation is what in life? The dvesha possibility is taken out of equation. See, if you are not able to see it, now today we are not having a proper relationship with the world. Everywhere there is a tremendous problem with relationship. Why? Particularly between two humans. Why there is a problem? Because of dvesha. Somewhere down the line, there is a dislike. See, everything is good in that person, sir. But that one thing, that I don't like. That one thing that I don't like. Now, the tragedy of life is, it is not possible for you to love someone wholly. In pockets only you can do it, in bits and pieces. One aspect you can love, one day you can love. Another day, the same love turns into hatred. The same person you start hating another day. Why this is? Because you don't have the eyes of wonderment. Ascharya. Wonderment. Wow. The childlike eyes. The problem is child eyes is there because of its ignorance. Right? The man of wisdom, the one who has this jnana chakshu, also has the eyes of a child. What is it? Eyes of wonderment. He sees life as wonderment. Yes. Since he is seeing life itself as a great wonderment, he sees everything as miracle. The one who is not seeing that is the one who demands that miracle to be performed. And he expects all unnatural things to be happening. What is it, unnatural thing? You come to me with corona, I touch you, corona goes away. It doesn't happen, huh? Because I got corona twice. If I had that power, first thing I would have done is touch myself. Right? Don't try all that. We think what? All my diseases will disappear. All that I have to do is I will just go and touch my disease. It cannot. And we believe somebody comes and claims that it has happened to me. When a person says, what is your choice? What happens to you there? Is what he is asking here. It says those who are wanting that miracle, because we need a miracle to happen for confirming the existence of divinity. Correct. And miracles are not going to happen on a daily basis. Miracles are going to happen maybe once in your life, which means divinity's presence is there only when miracle happens. In all other times, even if you believe in miracle, miracle is not going to be happening to you on a daily basis, no? Suppose if you say, no sir, miracle is there on a daily basis. Not because I went through a disease and my disease got cured. Not at that time. The fact that I go to sleep and I wake up, isn't that a miracle? That's what one man asks. There are 9 holes in the human body. Right? If there are 9 holes in a balloon, what will happen to the air? Will it stay inside? Impossible. Now here, there are 9 holes, but the prana is staying inside. Isn't that a miracle? Death is not a miracle. Your living is a miracle, he says. Prana leaving the body is not a miracle. That is normal, that is. Why? 9 holes are there. It will disappear. Push, it will go off. But it chooses to stay inside. My God, what a miracle that is, he asks. That ability, that divine. What is that divine? Divine is that which enlivens the things. That which is the substratum. The substratum is the divine. Substratum means that which is supporting. That's called divine. Now I am able to sit because of the substratum of chair. If the chair is not a substratum, is there a possibility for me to sit? Supporter. It is that which supports. Because of your ignorance, because you lack this fundamental trait of this intellectual perception, the eye of wonderment, in ignorance, you give a status of reality to something which is not real. What is not real? What is perceived is not real. The divinity is real. The pot is not real. The clay is real. What is the right knowledge? Right knowledge is to understand the real as real and understand the unreal as unreal. Ignorance is what? Taking that unreal to be real and real to be a non-existing entity. You see, that's why we ask the question, does God exist? Right. We ask the question, does God exist? It's like asking, do I exist? One fellow says, God is dead. That means you are dead. I think, therefore I am. Another fellow came and said, no, you are, therefore you think. Now, who is correct? What is the proof of your existence to my existence? What defines your existence? Sir, why is it that one thought comes to you, that thought doesn't come to me? Why? The thought that comes to me doesn't come to you. Why? If you give me time, I will go on asking questions like this. What is real and what is unreal? Now, to which you are going to give a priority? That's where he gives a beautiful example of a picture. Says, Ramtirtha gives this example. Says, the picture that you have a tremendous value for the picture. Why you are giving value to the picture? Says, you have a picture of your family. Ramtirtha says the picture of your beloved. Right. You have a picture of your beloved. Why there is a tremendous value for that photograph? What is the photograph actually speaking? That photograph is nothing but paper, a particular GSM paper with a combination of RGB colors. That's all, basic colors. That's all, 3 basic colors, permutation, combination of the basic colors is what the picture is. Why you give so much value to it? You will immediately say, no, sir, it is not the picture I am valuing. You are valuing what? What that picture reminds me of, represents. Because of what it represents, for that I have a tremendous value. That same value I attribute and ascribe to this. That is why any insult to that picture, I treat it as though you have insulted that being. That's what most of us do, no? The moment you don't like some, leader, somebody and all that, you bring a picture of the person and burn that picture. And the belief is what? Why do you do that? You think by burning that paper, you are burning the person itself. How dumb you are. And then those people call themselves to be rationalists. Are you mad? That effigy, they burn the effigy of the person. What is the effigy? It's only a haystack, a straw. You just burn the straw and you say that person. No. That represents that person. So either case, your affection towards it or your anger towards it, either case, what you are doing is got nothing to do with what it is. It is to do with what it represents to you. See? Now, when you see the world, you can see the world in 2 ways. You can see the world as you see the picture. Just a paper That's it. Nothing happens. Or you can see it as the expression of Brahman, of divinity. The moment you see the world to be an expression of the divinity, then the way you relate varies. Now, how do you get that perception? Next question we can ask is, sir, how is that possible? How does it work? He gives the example of a person sitting in the balcony. A beautiful statement. You must view the world from the balcony of your inner self. Watch the procession of action and perception, emotion and thought go by. I say these are all poetry written in the prose form. Nowadays people write, prose in the poetry form. This book is exactly opposite. Poetry in the prose form. Prose it is. The procession. Just the procession of things happen. Just keeps going, keeps going, keeps going. All that you have to do is what? Just sit in the balcony of yourself. Your inner self is known as that Sakshi Matrena. Is as a witness. You just witness it. Now, why he says balcony is the best part of the house is balcony. Least used or most abused. People have beautiful balconies I have seen, overlooking the sea. Fantastic one. I make so much of effort to decorate that balcony. Hardly they go and sit there and enjoy. So much of effort, overlooking the lake. And the fellow charges more. And you also pay, believing what? Like in my own apartment, a few flats are there, which is overlooking the lake. Same building only, but because it is overlooking lake, it is 75 rupees more per square feet. I said, I don't want to see the lake. Oh, sir, but that's a charge. And so many fellows have purchased, and I'm meeting them every day here. Whenever I go for a walk, I keep looking up. I've never seen them sitting there and watching either the sunrise or sunset. Nothing. Then why you pay money and buy, I don't understand. Belief is you are going to sit one day. That one day will never come. When that day comes, you are having a fracture. Right? When you have a fracture, you go and sit in the balcony. There is a capacity you have to enjoy the beauty there. You get anger only. Because everybody is walking, you are not able to walk. You get anger, you get frustration. The balcony means you are slightly above. Remember that. For you to be a sakshi towards something, it is possible only when you raise above it. That's why he calls it as a balcony of your inner self. Not just a poetry place it is. Not only for the poetic one, it is messages there. For you to stand apart, you cannot stand apart in the same plane. Impossible. You have to raise above it. Then, when you raise higher and higher and higher, what happens? Like if you see that when you go in the flight, exquisite one to see. Even now I have that fascination. Every time I book tickets, I ask those people to give me that window seat. Not near the wings, I tell them. They'll give window seat, but not, you'll be looking at the wing. I say, I don't want to look at the wings. They put me last or put me first. It doesn't matter, but I wanted to see. Look outside. It's so beautiful, amazing experience that is. As that flight running on the runway, it goes. And you see next to that, there are vehicles running also parallelly. They are also on the ground, you're also on the ground. Both are running, but the flight is running not to run on the ground. It is designed to fly. But right now, if you take, both are on ground only. But when it takes off, you will see that suddenly the buildings of different heights, all those buildings, different heights merge and starts appearing at the same level. And if you go higher, you can see the mountain peak and the valley also appearing at the same level. It's amazing to see that. From the height to observe. What does it mean, sir? Higher you go, the differences and demarcations disappear. Everything becomes one. Now you can see that oneness in the world only when you grow higher. Standing inside the world, I'm saying that I'm seeing oneness everywhere. You're bluffing yourself. It's pure lie. Genuinely you are believing. I am seeing that oneness everywhere. It's not possible. Then the question comes is, sir, how am I to reach to that state of witness, Sakshi? How am I to get there? Gives the beautiful story of this king who throws a challenge to the public, to the entire country, to all the citizens of his country. He throws a challenge. You have to locate the king in the exhibition. I'll be there, he says. I will be in the exhibition somewhere incognito. He who finds him out shall be the heir to the throne. And everybody got excited. Obviously, all that you have to do is what? Locate where the king is. Imagine Mukesh Ambani comes and says, whoever going to identify me in my house, if you come, the one who identifies me in my house will become the chairman of Reliance Industries. There will be a gate crash. Because it's so easy, no? Isn't it? You don't have to struggle. You don't have to break your head, work, slog, calculate, take risk. Contact here, contact there, do this, do that. All that you don't have to do. All that you have to do is what? Just locate where he is. If you locate, you become the king. Everyone went. And what is so interesting in the story is, why the king says he will stand as incognito is because the law of life is such that the most valuable things are imperceptible. Right? They are not perceptible. It's not available. If it is available, it's not valuable. Isn't it? Diamonds, so valuable. Why? gold is so valuable. Why? I thought gold will be appearing as gold actually. I don't know how many of you have been to gold mine to see. Johannesburg, I saw. I went down that, we have to go about 15, layers down. We have to go. Went down there. And they're showing, can you see gold? I said, where? I'm not seeing, because my idea of gold is mechanized gold. I don't know how many of you have seen that movie. Harry Peck's, mechanized gold. So I thought, gold mine means it will be there inside, the rocks and all that. These guys have to go cut it and bring. And that fellow is showing, with the laser pointer, he is showing some dots, some black dots. There. He shows the dots and says, that's gold. And it's telling, for you to extract from 1 ton of rocks, you can extract about 2 or 3 grams of gold. If you are getting, that means it's a very rich gold mine. 1 ton, not 1 kg. I asked that fellow second time. Sir, I heard it as ton. I don't want to become like our chief minister. Delhi chief minister, no? He said, I don't understand the difference between ton and, this. They asked for oxygen. I asked him, is it ton? He said, yes. You mean to say you don't get even a kilogram? He says, no, grams. Only that much you can get out of it. I still can't believe it. I think that guy is lying. I couldn't believe. 1 ton of rocks you take, you smash it, you do whatever the process with it, what you get out of that is just 2 grams of gold. Imagine for you to get 1 kg of gold, how many tons of rock they have to break? That how much they have to work. I understood. This is possible. It's not possible by labor. They have to enslave people to do that sort of a work. Goes and hides itself. No, go and take it out. Valuable. Anything valuable is not available for perception. And what all these people do, sir, they all started with tremendous enthusiasm. People started with a tremendous enthusiasm. Then what happened? They saw the exhibition and they saw the beauties here and there. Got fascinated with the exhibitions. Soon forgot the very purpose for which they entered the exhibition. In that group, there was one boy. In that group of people who have no focus, no aim, in that aimless group of mob, there was one boy who went and searched to every nook and corner of the exhibition. Every exhibition he has entered. Every stall he enters. He didn't care about what is there in the stall. What are the toys there? What are the entertainments there? What is the food given there? What is the flowers, the scent and this and that? Nothing. Everywhere he went and checked. Every part of the exhibition. He couldn't find. He couldn't find the king. Got so exhausted and tired, he goes and sits in one permanent structure. There is one permanent structure in that entire exhibition ground. A small temple. Most neglected one. Hardly anybody goes there. And even the temple, when this boy goes and sits with exhaustion and frustration, he started thinking maybe the king lied. Maybe the king is not there at all. He simply fooled all of us. Who is going to give the kingship just by identifying the king? So obviously, the king is just fooling us. All these thoughts are running in his mind. See, tired and frustrated and exhausted. He's sitting there. When he's sitting there, he hears the ringing of the bell, the puja bell. The pujari is there, he is doing puja to the deity. The boy goes, even there he is not involved with the deity, the puja, the temple, nothing. He goes there and examines the priest. That's a catch here. There also is not getting involved. What is that? The consistency of his effort. No matter what, all the alluring exhibitions, stalls may be there. So tempting, so attractive, so engaging, so frustrating also can be. The boy never missed his purpose of entering into that exhibition. Unlike all these people, soon forgot the very purpose. He maintained that consistency. The consistency of effort. That consistent effort is called vairagya, detachment. The one who has that alone will be able to succeed. So the one who has this capacity to locate the clay hidden in the pot is the one who can succeed in seeing that divinity. So what is the effort that you have to put in is what he is explaining next. The process of negation and assertion. So manifestation is this. So world is a manifestation of Brahman, divinity. To see that divinity, you need that eye of wonderment. How do you get, if you don't have that eye of wonderment, what happens? With that eye of wonderment, how do you get that, sir? When you will be able to do that? Only when you are standing apart and watching. When you can get to that state of Sakshi Matrena, when can you claim that balcony? Only when you are consistent in your effort of search. You can't do it in bits and pieces. Your effort cannot be in bits and pieces. It has to be concerted, conscientious, consistent effort. All three words you remember. Like this boy. So such a person, he searched and found. That's what he calls it as research. He uses the word that. Searches and researches Brahman. What is it, sir? First, you search. When you search, you come to a conclusion. Then what you do, sir? You remove that conclusion, reject that answer, again go in search of another answer. That is called research. You are searching again. Now we will say, sir, I got the answer. Why do you want me to continue again? That's why he puts it. Underline that two words. Searches and researches Brahman in the phenomenal world. We all search. We don't go to research. You don't search again. In fact, your search itself is a lukewarm search. If at all you search with some consistency, you get something. The moment you get something, you are stuck with it. That is all those people involved in the stalls. But this guy says no, reject it, research again. Again he comes to a conclusion. Again what he is going to do? Reject that. Again search. Search and research. Once again, you go in search. After finding out something, you go searching again, as though you have not found anything. That is called a research. When you do that, you achieve. That rare one finds Brahman becomes Brahman. What is the process? Next is topic. Process of negation and assertion. What is the process of search and research, sir? Process of negation and assertion. We'll see that in the next class.